Hello everybody and welcome to the Whiskey Dictionary, where I do the research to try to teach you a little something about what you're drinking. A few weeks ago I asked you to comment on one of my videos and suggest to me some scotches that you felt were great values, specifically things that were around or under $30, and I kind of gave some bonus points for hidden gems. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that Monkey Shoulder is a hidden gem, but I will say that it's not as well known as it could be. And at a rough price point of about $32 to $35, it's close enough. So today I'd like to talk to you about Monkey Shoulder. It is a blended malt Scotch whiskey, and it's bottled to 80 proof, so let's get into it. If you're new to this channel and you enjoy whiskey reviews, information, or just generally learning more about whiskey, then click subscribe so you don't miss anything. So normally during this part, I talk about the distillery, but because this is a blend, I'm more going to kind of combine some history with the actual whiskey itself. So for those that don't know, Monkey Shoulder is a term for, I guess you'd call it an ailment, that people that flip malt used to get. So if you put in a full day's work, let's say you're shoveling snow, right? If you had to do that for like 8 hours, your dominant hand's probably gonna get a little weak, and the men would come out of the malt house and their arm would kind of be dangling down a little bit, kind of like a monkey. And that's where the term came from. It's not so much of an issue anymore, you know, work standards have changed, so people aren't doing this for 10 hours a day, but that's where it comes from. So Monkey Shoulder is made up of 3 different scotches from Speyside. There's Kininvie, Balvenie, and Glenfiddich. And all 3 of them are put into a marrying tub for between 3 and 6 months. And afterwards, they are bottled at 80 proof. Now, in 2005, the Monkey Shoulder was first released more to like the UK. But in 2012, it was released to the United States, and we quickly drank more of it than they could handle. So around 2014, they actually removed the statement that said exactly where it came from, kind of allowing themselves a little bit more wiggle room to maybe blend some different scotches in there. Now, I don't have any proof that they're doing that yet, but I think that might be their reasoning. But either way, let's get into the nosing and tasting. All right, so this whiskey did end up making my definitive Scotch beginner guide because it is pretty approachable. And you'll notice this if you either have a bottle of this and are joining me, or if you plan on getting one, you'll kind of see some of the stuff I'm talking about. Now, you may have noticed by the way my voice sounds, I do currently have a cold. Now, luckily for me, I take these notes a little ahead of time because pretty much just got this cold. So my nosing and my tasting, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna read from my notes. But for the sake of tradition, I will give it a shot. So let me go into the nosing. Luckily, alcohol has a strong smell because I can still totally get it. So, all right, so the number one thing that I get, and I don't even need to look at the notes here, is fruity. You've got orange and you've got maybe a little bit of pear in there. It's kind of backed with some honey, very light honey, and maybe some vanilla. Yeah, a little bit of vanilla. The nose is actually pretty great, and in my opinion, this is why this is a good starter Scotch. By nosing this, because it's a bit complex, you can really kind of test your nose and see what you're getting. So, all right, let's get into the tasting. Cheers. All right, so the tasting is very good to start off with. The honey comes out right away. You get a little bit of kind of like an orangey zest. There's a little bit of spice there that you wouldn't really get so much in the nose there. But let me think. Yeah, the honey is probably the most prominent. That has the most lasting effect, and for me personally, it just kind of stays on my tongue. So, all right, that kind of does it for the nosing and the tasting. So now for my overall opinion. Now, I don't think it'll be a secret, as I said, I put this on my buying guide, that I like this. I think this is a good starting whiskey. Now, who is this for though? I mean, I did say it's for beginners. So I will say that if you drink a lot of Scotch, this probably won't really be worth your time. Even though it's good, and it might be something you want to kind of keep around the house to give to guests, or even have yourself, maybe just as a casual drink. I don't know if this is going to be particularly interesting to some of you who maybe, down in Balvenie 21s or something like that. There are definitely better whiskeys out there. So anyway, I think this is a try it if you've never tried it, without a doubt. If you have never tried it before and you're still kind of a newbie to Scotch, buy this one today. You will love this. So that about does it for me. Oh, I lied. So I would be doing this a disservice. And some of you will call me a hypocrite because I did not do this with Johnnie Walker Red, but I don't care. They suggest a lot of different mixing for this whiskey. They kind of say that this is what it's for. So I'm going to make what they call a monkey Coke, where they say to basically make a Jack and Coke out of this. Now it did say to have some ice, but me personally, I just took this thing out of the freezer. So I'm gonna pour it, and then I am going to add from the bottle, because I intend on finishing that, a decent amount, and then swirl it around a little bit, and let's see how this goes. I've actually never tried this, so cheers again. It's actually a nice switch up. I will say I'm guilty of having one of my go-tos be a Jack and Coke. If I really, despite all the stuff I have in my bar, hundreds of dollars worth of whiskey, I will still totally have a Jack and Coke, like, maybe every week or every other week. It's just kind of the reliable. It's what I fell in love with in college. It's what ultimately got me into tasting more whiskeys. So how does this rate? I like a Jack and Coke better, but this is a nice change. If you want to try this, I think you will love it. So for those of you that have seen my live stream, it is probably more enjoyable than the quarter cask and Coke that I did. But yeah, so go ahead and get yourself some monkey shoulder either way. Try this if you want. They have a number of different recipes on their website, all kinds of stuff. Pretty much the same drink, just with ginger ale as well. Either way, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for joining me here on the Whiskey Dictionary. I'll see you next week.